What's up guys, MegaDPAL here, and today I'm bringing you a Pokemon X and Y Wi-Fi battle. So the reason why I'm here bringing you a battle today is because Phoenix Master, a good friend of mine, is in fact away on vacation, on holiday, having fun. And he's a good friend of mine and did ask me if I would do a guest narration for him, so he can continue to bring videos while he's away for you guys, his subscribers. Naturally I accepted his offer, and I'd like to thank him for the opportunity. So here we are, bringing you a standard OU battle. I'm using a pretty nice looking team, pretty balanced. Worked around Assault Vest, physical Assault Vest Scoodra. My opponent's running a pretty nice team, running that Mega Ampharos, which isn't too common in OU, and also Sylveon. So this should be a pretty fun battle. You guys will definitely enjoy, so let's just get straight into the battle, shall we? So I'm going to decide to lead off with my Rotom Wash, just because looking at his team is the best thing to lead off with, and it's the most universal lead on my team. He's actually decided to lead off with his Gliscor. This is obviously a perfect matchup for me. So what I'm going to do turn 1, just go straight for that Will-O-Wisp, expecting to go for a Protect, just to get his Toxic Orb activated. Therefore I won't be forced to waste a Hydro Pump. So he does have a Sylveon on his team, which completely counters the likes of my Rotom Wash. So expecting that, I'm just going to go straight for the Volt Switch, granting me the Switch initiative, where I'm going to decide to go out into my Heatran, just to use this time to get my Stealth Rocks for the likes of his Talonflame. Unless his Sylveon is running Hidden Power on the ground, then I do know my Heatran completely walls it. But he is going to switch, which does in fact reveal he isn't running the HP ground. So it's great for me, I can just get my Stealth Rocks as it brings in his Starmie, predicting that. This is fine, as I can play around this Starmie, as I do have a great pivot switch in the form of my Assault Vest Scoodra for the likes of his Starmie. So I expect him to go for the spin. I'm just going to switch on into that Fig now. So actually go straight for that Scald. This is fine, I can easily eat up that Scald. And now expecting to go for the Rapid Spin the following turn, I'm actually going to decide to go straight for that Power Whip. And looking at how much this does is a solid 95%, which I was actually surprised it survived, but based on that damage, does definitely reveal it's more a defensive variant of Starmie. So now expecting the Gliscor to come in to easily sponge a secondary Power Whip, I'm actually going to decide to drop a Draco, hit this thing up with as much time as possible, as I want to get this thing weakened as much as possible, because Gliscor is very stally in 6th gen. So it does a solid 60 to 65%, which is very nice. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to go out into my Keldeo, predicting Toxic. The reason why I went out into my Keldeo as opposed to my Rotoms, because I don't want my Rotom Wash to be Toxic stored down by the likes of his Gliscors. I do need that thing as healthy as possible for his Talonflame and Terrakion respectively. So he actually reveals a Fling, so it's a Fling Acrobatics set back from 5th generation, which is very uncommon in 5th gen. So I'm just going to decide to lock myself into Hydro Pump, as he's just going to stall by going for the Protect, stall a bit of damage to get a little bit of HP back. And once again the obvious Sylveon switch is super obvious, but I didn't want to go straight for that Specs boosted Hydro Pump on that Sylveon, because I'm pretty sure it's a free KO regardless, and I don't want him to potentially start setting up wishes where it can potentially pass it to the likes of his Starmie. So I'm actually going to decide to go out to my Heatran now, just go straight for that Lava Plume as opposed to Stealth Rocks, expecting the Starmie to come in, but he's actually going to make a very risky play going out into his Terrakion. The reason why this play was risky is because I could have potentially got the burn on this Terrakion from the Lava Plume, but this is fine for him as I don't. But this is fine because I do still have my Landorus, my Choice Scarf Landorus. Just going to send this thing in just to scout out what he goes for, scout the damage. Based on that damage, definitely reveal this thing is in fact Choice Banded Terrakion, which is perfectly fine for me because I do now can use a Revenge Kill with likes my Scarf Landorus. So predicting the Gliscor now, I am running the HP, I'm going to go straight for that, pop this thing, do a whole lot of damage. Unfortunately it doesn't go down. Had I got my Rocks as opposed to going for Lava Plume with my Heatran predicting the Starmie, this Gliscor would have been down, which is fine. So I'm just going to go for HPS the following turn as it predicting and Protect, and now what I'm going to do is pull a double, go back out into my Heatran just once again to try and get my Rocks on the likes of his Sylveon. He's actually going to go out into his Talonflame instead. This is also fine, as I'm actually going to decide to once again set my Rocks. But actually here it reveals the Natural Gift, there's a whole lot of damage to me, definitely caught me by surprise, which is very nice. Running the Natural Gift for the likes of Heatran and Tyranitar. But based off that first damage, I'm actually going to play it safe, just go for the Protect just so I can 100% confirm I can live a secondary Natural Gift. But he predicts that very nice and goes out into his Gliscor here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to decide to go out to my Gooch here, just because looking at the HP his Gliscor's at and how much the initial Draco Meteor did, I just want to go straight for that, drop the Draco and take this thing out as soon as possible. As he actually goes to Earthquake, there's a solid 50%, which is nice for him. So here he's actually going to go for the Protect and just get a bit more HP back. on his Glasgow at this point, as I do decide to drop the Draco. And based on how much that initial Draco did, I'm still sure it would take out of this range. So I actually predict him to bring it out into Sylveon, so I'll go for that Power Whip. Unfortunately, a little bit of a bad play on my part, as it doesn't in fact stays in, go straight for Acrobatics. But I do know this thing's full set: Acrobatics, Fling, Protect and Earthquake. So I do know this thing completely gets countered by my Rotom Wash, completely ward. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually expecting to go out into Sylveon again, but opposed to going for the Volt Switch after this Protect, I'm actually going to decide to go for the Will-O-Wisp, because I do want to get residual damage on that thing. But it does in fact carry the Heal Bell on Sylveons, which is very common on Sylveons rather, and if he does decide to go for the Heal Bell, then it will obviously remove his Gliscor's own poison, his own toxic damage, so therefore won't get the his poison heal activated. And if he doesn't decide to go for the Heal Bell, then the 6% damage coming from the burn every turn will negate his leftovers recovery, and start to do 6% damage to him each turn, So it's nice, I do land that, and the burn will obviously help in stalling down this here Sylveon. So I'm just going to go for that Volt Switch. Once again, go back out into my Heatran. So sped this pot up a bit, is actually going to go for the Wish. And I'm going to go for a couple of Lava Plumes, just to basically not allow him to get a free switch on out into his Starmie, where it can potentially recover or Wish up and Rapid Spin the rocks away, So what I'm going to do now is just go for a final Lava Plume, which will be enough to take out the Sylveon at this range. But he's continually going for the Hyper Voice, just get me into the range where a Focus Blast coming from Mega Ampharos will kill. That's a good play on his part. I did however do a calc, and a modest max special attack coming from Mega Ampharos Focus Blast does exactly 148 damage to fully special defensive Heatran. So what I'm going to do, this is max damage rather, so what I'm going to do is just go for that Protect, and I actually get up to 147, so not willing to risk him not getting max damage at this point, so I'm actually going to decide to go into my Goodra, just as Death Rod at this point, and get a free switch on into my Landorus. However, my Silvest Goodra definitely put in that work, so I'm just going to decide to go out to my Choice Scarf Landorus to where I can easily revenge kill this thing. But expecting switch, what I'm actually going to do is decide to go for the U-turn. It actually brings on in his Talonflame now, which is fine, because after the rocks I do know that he will be forced to go for the Roost if he's in fact running that. So therefore I can just go straight out into my Rotom Wash, just go straight for the Hydro Pump and take him out. And if he doesn't decide to switch, then his Talonflame will die to the incoming rocks. So what I'm going to do is play it safe, just go straight for Hydro Pump. Is it does go straight for that Roost, and all I need to do is land this Hydro Pump. But unfortunately I missed, which is rather annoying for me, as I'm actually going to make another bad play the following turn. I just continue to go for the Hydro Pump here at this point. His obvious Ampharos switch was super obvious, and here me going for Hydro Pump is going to give him the initiative at this point, because I'm going to be forced to Volt Switch on out there and go out into my Heatran, predicting the Dragon Pulse at this point. And after the Dragon Pulse damage, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be able to get to the range of HP as to where I can live a Focus Blast max damage coming from this Mega Ampharos. So what I'm actually going to do is try and get up to that 148 mark, just go for that Protect as he continues to go for the Focus Blast. And now the following turn is actually going to go Focus Blast. Miss, unfortunately, which definitely makes up for my Hydro Pump miss, however, and would only matter in the long run if he did in fact score the max damage. So I'm just going to go for the Protect as he actually predicts that go for the Agility, which is nice. But here I am over the 148 mark, so definitely I can live a Focus Blast. Unfortunately misses. That one's not going to matter too much in the long run, just because my Heatran pretty much doesn't do anything at this point on. So what I do is I factor him out into his Gliscor. I also going to be threatened out by the likes of an Earthquake, and like I did mention, my Rotom Wash completely walls him. So what he's going to do is predict that very nicely, doubling out into his Choice Banded Tracheon. This, however, is fine because I'm physically defensive. I can eat up any one hit, but at the same time I still need to keep my Rotom Wash healthy for the likes of his Talonflame. I do still have my Landorus to check it at this point, so I'm just going to go into that, see what I locked himself into. Once again goes that Close Combat, which is fine for me. And what I'm going to do is predicting the switch again. I'm actually going to decide to go for that U-turn. He's actually going to bring his Ampharos as Death Rod at this point, which is very nice for me. And look at his remaining Pokemon, is Tracheon, Gliscor, his Talonflame and his Starmie. At the range of HP they're all at, my Dragonite definitely puts in work and can easily sweep up the rest of his guys if I can manage to set up. So what I'm going to do is decide to go out to my Rotom Wash at this point, just debating his Tracheon, to where at this point I'm actually going to decide to go straight back out into my Landorus, just as intimidate fodder at this point, see what he locks himself into, and get a free switch on out into my Dragonite at this point. Is it does in fact go straight for that close combat. This is great for me as I'm running a DD Dragonite, so I know I can easily set up on the likes of this Tracheon. So that's exactly what I'm going to proceed to do, just go straight for that Dragon Dance. As he makes a smart play, the better play in my opinion, just staying in, going for that close combat, breaking my multi-scale, try and get as much damage on my Dragonite to the point where his Talonflame can potentially take me out with a Choice Band and Brave Bird. However, the range of HP I'm at, I am confident I can live, so what I'm going to do is decide to go straight for that Earthquake at this point. Not willing to risk him going for another close combat. I do just want to take that thing out as soon as possible now. Has actually decided to sack his Storm at this point, trying to get a free switch on into his Talonflame, hoping it can take me out. But here, like I did mention, I am confident I can easily live this barring a crit. So he does decide to go straight for that Brave Bird. Doesn't score a crit, does a whole lot of damage regardless, but I do manage to live. Just going to decide to lock myself into the outrage, easily wipe out his Talonflame. And the range of HP his Tracheon's at, it will definitely go down to a +1 outrage. And the range of HP his Gliscor's at after the rocks, I'm pretty confident this thing will go down to a +1 stab outrage coming from a max attack adamant Dragonite. Easily going to wipe out this Gliscor, and I do in fact score a 13 outrage, which is great as I'm going to clean up his last poke, his Tracheon. Had I scored the 2-turn outrage and hit myself with confusion and lost my Dragonite, I do still have my Roam Wash to eat any one hit and take it out. So that was going to be the game, a very good game. I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like, comment down below, and if you did enjoy this, feel free to check out my own channel and show me your guys' support. It really means a lot. Once again, I'd just like to thank Phoenix Master 1 for this opportunity. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.